Well, welcome to the Magnolia Lobby studio of the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. It is the radio home of WSM and Circle Television. They join us every weekday morning at 7 o'clock on Coffee, Country, and Cody. And we take this thing on radio and TV all over the globe. We literally, all over the globe. Streaming platforms, smart TVs, Circle All Access. It'll tell you if you go to circleallaccess.com who the affiliate is in your market area. Folks in Taylorsville, Kentucky, are watching right now as their hometown hero, JD Shelburne, sits down in this studio, getting ready to share new music and going back home to do it. You got to set this up. This is a big, big weekend and release for you.
It is. I've been in Nashville since 2008, been listening to you guys for a long time. I've just finished a new album through the pandemic, and actually before I'd finished half of it, pandemic allowed me to spend a little bit more time on it. And it comes out tomorrow. Straight from Kentucky is the name of it. Last year was kind of a crazy year for all of us, but I was on the cover of the Kentucky Tourism Guide, which is an honor in itself. And so I named the album Straight from Kentucky. And I always told my hometown fans when I left Taylorsville back in 2008 that I would always come home and celebrate success when a new album would come out. So here we are. Busting back up Saturday morning in my hometown of Taylorsville, and thank the good Lord above it's going to be great weather, because I was nervous about 4 days ago.
I told Charlie somewhere there's a dad going, well, you're not going down there with all that foolishness. I need you to stay here in the tobacco patch. We got tobacco. We got to work this tobacco today.
Woo.
Huh? You remember those days, don't you?
Hardest work I ever did. I remember the first time I had one little hair
you
out of my chin.
You people on Music Row start feeling sorry for yourself. Here's the backstory.
Go to the tobacco patch on Saturday morning and hang tobacco at 6 a.m. That wet tobacco hitting you in the face as it goes up to the top tier. The good old days. Those made me a man.
It does give you a work ethic, seriously.
It really does. It makes you appreciate hard work. And, believe it or not, I'd love to cut one more stick row. It's been so long, and I'd love to go out and cut a stick row once.
Listen,
just see if I can still do it.
Come August, somebody let you.
I shouldn't have said that.
Somebody's going to take you up on that. When you were here with us last, you were just shy of a new corporate sponsorship, which you're more than welcome to mention. And then something happened in your personal life minutes after you left the studio. So
it was, Evan Williams Bourbon sponsors us. It's great to have them on board with us. They're based out of Kentucky, and being a Kentucky native, it just happened to be 1-1 that worked out. So brought you all a couple little gifts there. Hope you enjoy those. Last time I was here would have been December of 2019, I believe. You're on the Circle TV network. Got home that afternoon, and my wife had told me that she was out getting breakfast for us, and I was like, oh, great. So I get home, and she's dressed to the nines. I'm like, okay, well. I get home, and she's like, oh, I just want to let you know I forgot a Christmas present. I just happened to come across it, and I forgot to give it to you. I'm thinking, well, she didn't get me any V-neck T-shirts. I wanted V-neck T-shirts. She didn't get that. For some reason, I said that, and I have it on video. I was like, I guess I'm getting V-neck T-shirts. And so she sets me on the couch, and she pulls out this little onesie, and it says boyfriend date, and said proposed 16, married 17, daddy 2020. I was like, what? So I found out I was gonna be a dad. This probably 20 minutes after I got home from this show. So WSM will always be special to me on a different level now because of that. So Jax, we just celebrated 9 months this week with him, and
what's his full name?
Jax Dylan Shelburne, little JD. So there's a picture right there. So we're very blessed, and what a bundle of joy.
The song that you did, I remember you did it. Actually performed it in studio. We're going to play the recorded version here. Nice. Go ahead and give us a church pew setup.
This song I recorded. Mark Nessler, my old neighbor, wrote this song, and with Jennifer Hansen, Marty Dotson, great friends of mine, and heard this song. Several months before I started, went to the studio, fell in love with the melody and the message, and we recorded it. And went all the way to #1 on CMT. It's called Church Pew Barstool.
Well, I'm sure God's got a lot of strikes against me. I don't always make it to church on Sunday. Been known to use 4-letter words, and too often I forget to pray unless I'm in trouble. I like my whiskey strong and double. Lord knows I spend a lot of nights sitting on this church pew bar stool, listening to the sinners and the fools this church pew bar stool. Last week I missed the preacher's sermon, but I was helping Joe unload some burdens, 'cause he lost his job and lost his wife. So I had a holy Saturday night, sitting on this church pew bar stool, listening to the sinners and the fools talking about their broken hearts. 'Cause in here you come as you are, can't help but think the man upstairs is cool. With me on this church pew bar stool. The good book said to do what he would do, and I do. Sitting on this church pew bar stool, listening to the sinners and the fools talking about their broken hearts. 'Cause in here you come as you are, can't help but think the man upstairs is cool. With me on this church pew bar stool. Church pew bar stool. Church pew bar stool.
JD Shelburne, Church Pew Barstool. Now, you mentioned Mark Nessler.
Yeah.
What an incredible writer that cat is.
Genuine.
And I did not know that. I guess I knew it, but I'd forgotten it from your first performance last time you were in studio. But as soon as you hear it, you go, and you know that it's Mark Nessler, you go, well, of course he wrote that.
He's a great
his
lyricist.
gift.
He's a great lyricist, and just he's the only man I've ever known to sit in a room and pick a melody on a guitar I've never heard. He's like, "How's that sound?" I'm like, "Let's do that." And so we usually write to whatever he picks. I mean, he's just that good. He doesn't just play 3 or 4 chords and we try to figure it out. He's just some little riff, and it's great. So,
well, take me back to Taylorsville for the release of Straight from Kentucky.
Yep, so we're going home Saturday morning. We're throwing this huge free concert for the fans in my hometown. We did this in 2018, brought about 7,000 fans to town. So,
well, tell them how big Taylorsville is normally.
Population probably like 1,000 or something. It's really small. There's actually more dollar stores than stoplights. I figured that out a couple days ago.
763 says Wikipedia, by the way.
Wow.
Yes. And
wow.
you are one of the notable people. You've
Really?
made Wikipedia. Yeah. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, who else?
Cliff Carlisle, early Western and blues singer. Ralph Waldo Emerson Gilbert, congressman. And Shannon Lawson and JD.
Okay.
We're going to come back in live music here, an email, a special email that I think you'll appreciate. That's coming up here on Coffee, Country, and Cody. And joining us, I'm talking about songwriters, Ray Fulcher. He and Luke Combs have been writing together. 16 songs they've co-written. 4 of them went to #1, and he's debuting at the Grand Ole Opry in the days ahead. He joins us after 9. And our buddy JD Shelburne is live, and he's here, and he's next.
Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And we are live in studio, Magnolia Lobby, Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. Sound waves, the water experience is across the hallway, and this place, you can tell the pandemic is over. It has filled up, and on the weekends, get out of here. I mean, they're waiting in line just to get in the water as we welcome JD Shelburne to the show, straight from Kentucky. His album comes out tomorrow, and Saturday, Taylorsville, Kentucky. What time's that show as you go back home?
7 p.m. We're looking forward to hosting the free concert. Thanks to all of our sponsors. We've got about 25 sponsors this year to cover the entire show. So we're going to kick it off Saturday at 7 with American Idol Layla Spring from Lebanon, Kentucky. And then Jeff Bates, former RCA recording artist, he's going to be opening the show about 7:45. We'll kick off at 8:30. So we are so thrilled to go back home and give back.
Is there any truth to the rumor that Coach Calipari's put you and Steve Warner in charge of extra recruiting in the state of Tennessee to make the basketball fortunes of the University of Kentucky, the big school in Lexington, what they ought to be, what they once were?
Listen, after last year, I think Steve Warner could probably recruit and talk to the team as well as anybody. But what a disappointing season last year. We're blaming it on COVID. So We'll be back.
Nobody going to argue that.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, if I understand correctly, my buddy JD Shelburne will be on the air with you at 8 o'clock. Two of my favorite people hanging out. He and I write some together. He's one of the good guys, Rob Simbeck,
I'll be dang.
who for decades wrote and interviewed for Bob Kingsley's Countdown shows, which you still hear on WSM Radio.
that's
So
cool.
Rob is up listening and watching.
Thank you,
Maybe
Rob.
he's watching us. I'm not sure.
I love him, man. He's him and I met years ago, and he actually wrote my bio on my website, and we've written some songs together. I don't think there's a word that man don't know.
And when he gets through with
Brilliant.
your bio, you read it and you go, whoa,
He told
I
me,
am a big old deal.
exactly. He makes mom and daddy proud. I tell you that. You know, it's funny. He told me one time. He said, "I actually write stars on the way up and on the way down." That's what he told me.
Well, you're on the way up, baby.
Yes, sir.
Introduce your band this morning, if you would.
This is Mr. Greg Keys from Toronto, Canada. And he actually lost his voice about 2 days ago singing too much. So he's here playing guitar. He's been in my band for over a year. We've been on many miles on Interstate 65 and played many shows together. So I want to welcome him in.
At least try to say hello.
Oh, welcome to the studio. And Charlie Mattos, get
stars.
ready. You're doing harmony today with JD Shelburne.
Yeah.
You ready to go? All you got to do is just lean into it.
I think
Hoss.
they're going to bury me in the mix. I think.
JD, what are you going to do for us?
This is called Hometown in My Headlights. It's going to impact country radio Monday. It's going to come out on People, Newsmax, and CMT tomorrow. It's a single off my new album coming out. And this will be the first time I've ever played it on radio. So,
World premiere. Here
Yes,
it
sir.
comes.
1, 2. Been a while since I've been back around here. Sure looks like ain't nothing's changed. Same 2 lanes, same 2 red lights, same number on that population sign. It happens every single time I drive down there. This windshield's like a movie screen, playing back those memories. Cheap cold beer and an old boombox party going down in the parking lot. First time flames and Friday nights, tailgate talks and crossing lines. Happens to me every time I got my hometown in my headlights. My hometown in my headlights. Yeah. Summer nights staying out way too late. Did our best to break every rule. Nowhere to go, just driving around. Yeah, we thought we ran this town. Burning tires, hearts on fire, thought we were so cool. This windshield's like a movie screen, playing back those memories. Cheap cold beer and an old boombox, party going down in the parking lot. First time flames and Friday nights, tailgate talks and crossing lines. Happens to me every time I got my hometown in my headlights. My hometown in my headlights. Yeah. When I take a lap, it takes me back. That's why I take it slow. This windshield's like a movie screen, playing back those memories. Cheap cold beer and an old boombox, party going down in the parking lot. First time flames on Friday nights, tailgate talks and crossing lines. Happens to me every time I got my hometown in my headlights. My hometown in my headlights. Yeah.
JD Shelburne live on Coffee, Country, and Cody all over the world. WSM Radio, Circle Television, country plays here. So you had this music, and the pandemic is on, quarantine is on, and you're kind of holed up just waiting. And now 2021 has rolled around, and you got this big release celebration that comes out tomorrow, and then the party in your hometown on Saturday. How does that make you feel?
It's a relief. Working on the record all through the end of not 2019, thinking 2020 was going to be the release,
Sure.
gearing up, asking sponsors to help us out with the show for last year, and then COVID hit. we had to make the decision we were going to push it to 2021. It was heartbreaking because I had worked so hard on this record, and we'd put some, church pew bar still out, stuff to build momentum to the release.
And you'd had success with it,
yeah,
too.
exactly.
And that's the one thing in the business. You want to continue with that momentum when it starts.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but I will say COVID and the pandemic gave me time to actually go back into the studio with Phil O'Donnell and record about 5 more songs. I wrote a song with Tony Martin and Mark Nessler, so I was able to actually add a couple more pieces to the puzzle, if you will. And we're excited, man. This record is probably my best record I've ever recorded out of Nashville. I'm real proud of it, and put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this record. And
give me the backstory on when you got to town and what that was like. What's your first week in town? Moved
to Nashville in Brentwood 2008. I never will forget. Joe Lamarty worked here.
Yeah,
and he got me on WSM with Mike Terry one time, and that was my first, really my first big thing in Nashville that happened to me back in 2008. Long time ago. I moved down in an apartment by myself, bored to death, missed home, and would drive back to Louisville a lot, play shows, anywhere that would book me and pay me to play, and started cutting my teeth trying to meet people, shake hands down here. Man, that was a long time ago. I think gas in Brentwood was like $1. And that tells you how long ago it was. But I'm just so thankful I moved here. I didn't know if I wanted to be in Nashville. I left UK in 2007, moved back home with my parents. I was kind of at a crossroads. Do I go to Nashville? Do I just get a job and hang the guitar up? And then Mom and Dad said, let's go. And so I'm so glad with the gentle nudge of my parents, I moved down here, and here we are, celebrating my 5th album. And we played over 2,500 shows since, and we've got about 40 on the book this summer. So we're blessed by the man upstairs. We're still doing it.
Before you play again, how did you wind up on the cover of the travel magazine for Kentucky?
I've done lots of stuff for Kentucky, lots of corporate events. I've done lots of tourism events for the state, and they just took a liking to me. I've always promoted the state, the bluegrass state where I'm from. It's always been in my story since day one. And they reached out to Scott and Jeremy at 2911 in 19 and said they wanted to do videos from 4 different artists in Kentucky to tell their backstory. Well, John Conley was one of the 4, and they selected me in the 4. I couldn't believe they selected me out of all the Stapleton, Dwight, all the people that have had success in Kentucky. They picked me, and they did we went up to Kentucky, shot the video, and they took some photos while we were there. Just some photos in this like kind of bar, and really just cool vibe. And about a week later, they said, "Hey, these photos turned out great. Would you want to be on the cover of the tourism guide?" And I said, "Well, what's the tourism guide?" And they told me. They said 450,000 copies would be printed. I said, "Put me on the cover." Please. And they did. It worked, and it was a great promo tool.
Just for comparison, Garth was on the cover of the Tennessee one, so you're in good company on the cover of the tourism guides.
I'll take it, man. Love Garth Brooks.
And his tickets go on sale for Nissan Stadium tomorrow morning, the same day your record comes out.
I saw that. I heard you on the way up over here.
The connection is still there.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Play us one more before we wrap up this morning, if you would. JD Shelburne, if you're just joining us on WSM Radio, Circle Television.
This is a title track to my new record. It's called Straight from Kentucky. If you've never been to the state, never drank bourbon from the state, never bet on a horse race in the state, this is Kentucky 101 in a song. So, Bill, this is for you. 1, 2, 3. You might say Daniel Boone is our father. From Cassius Clay to the coal miner's daughter. Sawmills to the Oldville slugger. L ain't one to peanut butter. We thank God we were born from a mother straight from Kentucky. Yeah. We got golden rods in Fort Knox and Big Red Auburn running. Holy Rollers passing Copperheads, waiting on the second coming. Kaywood Ledford play-by-play. I'm no stranger to the rain. From my first breath down to my last name, came straight from Kentucky. Woo! We got whitetail, bluegrass, and wild turkeys. We got tobacco barns, Rough River, and the Derby. Black lungs singing Sunday morning. Grandpa on the back pew snoring. The Colonel, Honest Abe, and R.J. Coleman came straight from Kentucky. We got golden rides in Fort Knox and Big Red Auburn running. Holy Rollers passing Copperhead, waiting on the second coming. Corvettes and Born and Bowling Green, old Coach Rupp and old Jimmy Beam, Bill Monroe and a Montgomery Gentry, straight from Kentucky. United we stand, divided we fall. All gave some gave all. We're all for one and one for all. We got Golden Rods and Fort Knox and Big Red off and running. Holy Rollers Pass and Copperheads waiting on the second coming. Kaywood Ledford play-by-play. I'm no stranger to the rain. From my first breath down to our last names, came straight from Kentucky. Straight from Kentucky. Yeah.
Add to that JD Shelburne, straight from Kentucky. And thank you for the Kaywood Ledford mention. Ralph Hacker, sometimes his play-by-play analyst, his color commentator, gets up early in Lexington or down in Vero Beach, where he lives sometimes, and listens to us. So I hope he's listening this morning. Yep. Thank you for coming in this
Thanks
morning.
for having us. Appreciate you very much.
And all the best as the new album, Straight from Kentucky. You just heard a title track live from JD Shelburne, comes out tomorrow. The free album release show, Downtown Hometown, Taylorsville, Kentucky, on Saturday night. We'll continue.
The sinners in the pool, talking about